Joining us on the phone now is Tenille Dashwood. Good morning, Tenille. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know you're busy, so thanks for taking some time out to chat this morning.
No problem. I was actually wondering how you pronounce the name of that bank center.
Yeah,
You kind of got it for me.
Yeah, the Adirondack Bank Center. So before we talk a little bit about where your career is now, how does a young lady from Australia become a professional wrestler? What made you get into this business?
Well, I loved wrestling as a fan growing up. I watched with my big brother Jake, and since I was maybe like 7 or 8 years old, I remember sitting in front of the TV getting excited when the music would hit and the wrestlers would come to the ring and all that, the entertainment side of things. Obviously, I didn't understand it too much back then, but I basically just fell in love with wrestling, and as I grew up, I never snapped out of it. So by the time I was 13, 14 years old, I was nagging my mum to take me to train at a local independent wrestling show that I saw, like a poster for. And eventually she gave in and then came with me and took me to training, and I stayed with it. Finished school when I was 19, moved to Canada knowing I needed some more professional training from someone that had WWE experience if I was going to make it there. So I went to Lance Storm School and then, just continued on from there.
Do you have any sports background heading into wrestling? Did you play any sports as a kid?
I played sports like in school, but that was basically it. It was just wrestling. It was always my focus. And anytime someone would even say, you should try this, it might help with the wrestling and this and that, I was like, no, I just want to wrestle. Just let me wrestle. So I was very one track with my mind there.
That's awesome. Now, since you left WWE, I know you've been doing a lot of independent shows, and you've been doing some work with Ring of Honor. And it's really a good time to be, I guess, with the indies now because they're really at a high point. Independent wrestling is really making its name for itself these days. Yeah, independent wrestling is, I want to say, popular again.
It always has been, but like right now, things are crazy, and with really a big push behind women's wrestling as well, and this whole evolution that's happening. And I feel like it's such a good time for independent wrestling. And coming off WWE, I've been lucky to be with Ring of Honor and to have such a busy schedule still. I have some amazing fans all around the world, and I've been able to travel to Europe, to Australia, to New Zealand, and all around America, and go to Canada. And there's so many more places to come still that I'm going, and the schedule's been so busy, but I'm very lucky to be able to do that still, coming off WWE and travel the world and wrestle.
And you got to participate a couple weeks ago in an historic event, the All In pay-per-view. What was that experience like?
Oh, All In was obviously a history-making event. I was actually able to commentate for the women's match that night, which was special because there was a big opportunity for 4 women that haven't had those opportunities before necessarily. So I was really excited to be a part of that and to be able to sit back and kind of see the spectacle come to life. That was really special.
And as you mentioned, women's wrestling has really evolved over the last 20 years to where the women are so athletic now in the ring, and they're doing stuff, just the same stuff the guys can do.
Yeah, that's right. And I think maybe they always were athletic. Maybe we always had those things in us, but it's sometimes just being given that platform, that opportunity to show it, and for people to get behind it, which the wrestling fans have done for us. So, and I think it all comes hand in hand as well, is being given those opportunities, and for instance, this coming weekend I have a show with Creative Pro Wrestling, and they put for the first time ever myself and my opponent in the main event. So it's opportunities like that we're being given that are amazing, and it's obviously having to deliver on those opportunities too that it continues this whole craze that's happening, and that's what I think these women around the world are doing.
Absolutely. You'll be coming to see us, as we mentioned, September 22nd. Have you been to upstate New York before, the Utica area?
Yes, I have a few times, but I'm excited to come back, and obviously to the Guys Expo, it's something a bit different, but it sounds like an exciting event. I know it's called the Guys Expo, but there's so many things happening that I love as well. So, and it's obviously a family-friendly event, so I'm excited to kind of meet everyone that's coming down, take some pictures, and obviously look around the event myself and see some of the, I think there's a food eating contest.
There is. That's new this year, actually.
A CrossFit challenge, so many things that I would be interested in and wanting to check out for myself. So I'm excited to check out the Guys Expo.
And, of course, you mentioned to be able to meet the fans and get pictures and sign some autographs. And as you know, wrestling fans are very, very passionate.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get a chance to meet all your fans down there as well. So we're really looking forward.
One of the special things that comes with it. coming out of WWE, now I'm able to have those meet and greets and meet the fans, and I have merchandise I'll be bringing with me as well. So I'll have my T-shirts, my sunglasses, and obviously, like I said, autographs to sign and all of that. I'll bring that all with me.
Well, as we mentioned before, we're really looking forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks. And thanks for taking some time out to chat with us today. And we'll see you on September 22nd.
Awesome. We'll see you then.
All righty. We are done.